Nobody's perfect. We like to think that we know what's right. We often create little stories in our head about proving that we're right. But sooner or later we have to come to terms with the idea that we're human beings just like everybody else, and we too have our flaws. We don't like other people seeing those sides of ourselves that we'd rather keep hidden. But for as long as we hold on to the dream that we're always right, we leave no room to learn new things. It's only by owning up and recognizing what we don't know that we leave space to grow and learn to improve ourselves. And when we see ourselves as being right, it usually means that we have to make somebody else wrong. We can become very intolerant of people that we see as wrong. Nobody responds well to being made wrong, and so often it triggers unnecessary conflict. And of course it also blocks whatever it is that we might be able to learn from that person. It's easy to get stuck into thinking that there's only two ways to see things. One way is right, the other way is wrong. But this world that we live in is a pretty messy place. The reality is that often there are other possibilities we haven't considered that might provide a third option or a fourth option. And so often we miss out a part of the story that really matters. Now we do need to have a positive view of ourselves, to feel good about who we are and what we do. We need to feel that we have a purpose and that our lives matter. Our reputation and what other people think of us does matter. We protect our identity, the identity we recreate for ourselves, but it can blind us to parts of ourselves that we might prefer to keep hidden. Acknowledging that gap between who we would like to think we are and who we actually are isn't easy. There's a part of us that just wants to shut out anything that suggests we might not be perfect, to avoid feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, or rejection. We often deny or minimize parts of the world we don't want to recognize. We blame others and we create stories to justify not having to make changes. The story of Sir Lancelot provides an interesting reflection on owning up. Now he was the bravest knight of the land, known for his skills, and could defeat any other knight. He was a true gentleman, always doing the right thing. Sir Lancelot became the trusted first knight of the Round Table closest to King Arthur. He twice rescued Queen Guinevere, but the second time he mistakenly killed Sir Gareth and became the lover of Queen Guinevere, breaking up the Knights of the Round Table. Queen Guinevere became a nun and Lancelot became a hermit. He was the perfect knight, but his perfection was his downfall. Now there was another knight of the Round Table, Sir Percival. He began with humble beginnings and knew nothing of what it meant to be a knight, but he acknowledged what he didn't know and he was eager to learn. He was the knight who searched for and finally found the Holy Grail that restored the barren kingdom. Similarly, if we are open to accepting that we are not perfect and that we can learn new ways of coping with situations, we avoid the tragedy of Sir Lancelot and take on the mantle of Sir Percival.